Hello, everyone. My name is Venkat. I'm one of the product experts here for Zoho, and I mainly take care of Zoho CRM and Zoho CRM's integration with other applications as well. And today we are going to look into a topic where we'll be discussing about how healthy your Zoho CRM is currently set up. So, as the topic suggests, it is going to be Zoho CRM Health Check. So before getting into the topic, let's first discuss why Zoho CRM of other CRMs in the market. The first thing is you can not only digitize your you can not only digitize your data regarding the customers, but you can also digitize the entire process. So, what is the use of digitizing the entire process? In case if you are going to make any small changes for the process, it is not required for you to announce to each and every representative of the organization. The Zoho CRM will take care of the entire thing. Like you just have to make changes. And while working on it, the users will be able to find the changes and they can work along the same. And once the process has been digitized, the next thing is you will have a space to have all the customer data, not only the customer data, but also any other related data as well, like calls, emails, meetings, notes, and any other attachments as well. So all these can be done using this centralization of your customer related data. And when the data is ready, the next thing is you are going to follow up with the customers on a daily basis. For example, let's say whenever a new lead is created, you are supposed to send out an email, update a field, and also create a follow up task. If you are going to do that one by one, it is going to be a very long process because you're handing around thousands and thousands of leads on a daily basis. So, what you can do here is you can create a normal automation using workflow rule within Zoho CRM, and the entire process of doing all these three tasks will be done by Zoho CRM automatically, and thereby you can save your time. And because of this automation and other centralization of data, it is easy for you to manage your leads. And in case if you want to assign these leads equally among the users, and if you want to segregate the leads based on their interaction with your organization or with your process, then you can make use of other automations like assignment rules and scoring rules using which you can effectively manage your leads. And now, since you are managing the leads are not only going to come through only one source, you will have a multi channel which is going to feed the data into your Zoho CRM. In that case, you need an application which can integrate with all these business application, and that is going to be Zoho CRM. And by inbuilt, we do have a marketplace in which there are 100 plus applications which are hosted. You can choose from there, or you can also have an option to integrate inbuilt applications as well. Like we have direct integration to Microsoft, Google, as well as Zoho applications. If they do not have a direct integration, you can make use of APIs to integrate with your Zoho CRM application. And when all the data is ready, when the work is going on, you would like to see an insight of how well your business is going on, how well the organization is performing. In that case, Zoho CRM can help you with that using reports and dashboards that is available by default. So in order to show you this, I do have a Zoho CRM account, as you can see in here. And this account is based on an organization which is providing air conditioners, and we also provide heaters as well. And in that case, I have completely, this is the new UI of Zoho CRM. I've just made small changes to the modules so that I can show you how you can customize that according to the organization in here. So I'll show you during the course of this presentation. So now getting into what most of the customers miss when it comes to Zoho CRM when they are done purchasing it. The first thing is about the CRM philosophy, which is the three P's, that is priorities, process, and people. So the first thing is you need to set up the entire priorities properly, where you are going to segregate the data based on the type of customer. If it is going to be a prospect, it is going to be in the leads module. If it is going to be a contact, it is going to be in contacts module. And if it is going to be available for every user, you need to make sure that what kind of access they should have, if it is going to be available for everyone. If you want to restrict it, then again, you need to make sure how you can restrict it. So that is what priorities are going to do for you. And next come the process where you are going to decide how the entire organization is going to work based on the data that is available to them. And that process is going to be digitized within Zoho CRM. And finally, the people of the organization, who are the users. So you need to make sure the users have access to the data when they want it, and access to the data that only they need to see, not others' data. So all these are going to be done. And that is why we mentioned you need to make sure that your CRM is not just CRM, but you need to pre-CRM it, where you need to make sure all these three categories are satisfied. So how can I make sure these three categories are done? And that is what we are going to discuss with the help of challenges faced by the organization. So the first challenge is going to be about how the Zoho CRM can be customized in my business needs. So if I want to change the module name, if I want to create a new module, if I want to delete an existing module, if I want to make changes to the field, how can I do that? So that is what we are going to see in the first challenge of customizing the Zoho CR. So once the changes are done, I don't want my users to get confused. I want that to be simplified for them. So that we are going to look into simplification of CRM usage. And when the users are ready, you are going to add them into the organization. You are going to give them permissions to the data and restrict the permissions as well under user management. And finally, the data has to flow into the Zoho CRM. And for that, we are going to have integrations through multiple applications through which you can collect the leads and create a transparent schedule for the organization to get in touch with the customers. So it is not required for the customers to get in touch with you. Instead, they can have a transparent way of seeing when the organization can accommodate their needs or arrange them, or or get in touch with them for calls. And if they are going to have any email communication, how you can bring that into CRM. And finally, we are going to see the new upcoming AI features which can be integrated with Zoho CRM. So for that, as I mentioned earlier, I do have a Zoho CRM account, and we will start with the first challenge, which is the customization of Zoho CRM. So as I mentioned earlier, every organization has their own model, their own way of handling the data, and their own customizations as well. So if you are going to achieve that with one common CRM, it is not possible. And that is why you need customization to be done. And it should be very easy for you, which Zoho CRM is going to offer. So in order to set up a customization, you will go to setup in here. And on the left side of the screen, you will be able to see customization. There you can click on modules and fields. If your UI is going to be completely different, no need to worry. This is the new UI called as CRM for everyone. It is in a phased manner. It will be released for everyone very soon. So as you can see here, you are able to find the different modules that is available in here. If you want to change the name of the module, no need to worry. Just place your cursor over the module, click on these three dots, rename them. So I'll call them as contacts, and contact in here, and click on save. And scroll down. As you can see here, I have made changes to the products as courses so that I can show you how to rename it. Give me a moment. It's here. I changed that insurances. I'll just rename it again. Products and singular form of products. So that's how you can rename it. In case if you are looking to delete it, it is currently not possible to delete it, but whereas you can hide it. So if you are in the new UI, just disable this and that will be hidden. If you are in the old UI, on the top of the screen to your right side, you should be able to see organized modules. You can click on organized modules, and from there you can hide it or you can enable it as well. But if you are looking to delete, it is only possible to delete the custom modules. So in case of custom modules, you can just click on this three dots right next to it, delete, and then you can delete it. Since I have it associated, it is not allowing me to delete it. If it is not associated, you should be able to delete it. But whereas if you are looking to delete any of the system defined modules, it is not possible. And that is why you can go ahead and hide it. And now coming to the new requirement of how to create a new module. It is very easy. You can just click on create new module, select the module type, give a name to it. So I'll just call that as partners, where I'm going to have all the information regarding to my partners who are going to bring in business from different streams, so that I'll associate them to my contacts, and then I'll provide them a cut as a commission based on at the end of the month or the end of the year. So I'll just have the partners model created. And if you want to add a field, just drag it and drop it in here, and then you can rename it. For example, if you want a phone number, I'll just drag and drop a phone number, call it as partner's phone. If I want a mobile number, again, I'll just drag and drop a phone field. If you want to add a new section, I can drag and drop it, and then you can just save and close it. You can provide for which profile you need to give permissions, and then you can save it. So as you can see in here, we have created a module, and this does not need a single line of code. All you're going to do is just drag it and drop it onto the screen. So it is that easy for you to create a module within Zoho CRM. So while creating modules, there are two types of fields that you have to keep in mind. The first one is going to be a lookup field, and the second one is going to be multi-select lookup field. So what is a lookup field? As I mentioned earlier, I have created a module called as partners, and I need to make sure that each contact is associated to this partner. So how can I take care of this association? That is done with the help of lookup or multi-select lookup field. If you want a one-to-one relationship, which is like one contact to be associated to only one partner, you will go with lookup field. If you want one contact to be associated to multiple partners, you're going to go with multi-select lookup field. So how you can do that? It is very easy. Go to the contacts module, select the standard, which is layout. And then from the left side, you can just drag and drop a lookup field. Just give me a minute. I'll just scroll to the bottom. Yeah. And I'll call it as partner name. I'll just select the partners model from the drop down, provide a related list, and then click on done. In case if it is going to be multi-select, you'll just say do the same thing, but whereas you're going to drag and drop the multi-select lookup. So now once you are done, you can save and close it. And when you try to create a contact, I'll just move to the standard layout. And as you can see in here, I can associate the partner from here. If there is partners that is available in the partner module, you will be able to see that in the list. You can select and associate it. So that's how you can make use of lookup and multi-select lookup field. So now once the customization is done, you are ready to work. But again, here that is the check that you have to make sure of, which most of the customers miss. That is first, if the module customization is done on one module, is it taken care on the other module as well? For example, if you are going to create a field within the leads module, you need to make sure that the fields are done in the other modules too, because the leads get converted into contact and accounts at the same time. The contact will have the lead's personal information, whereas the account will have the lead's company information. So you need to make sure for this easy flow of data, the module customization is done on the other modules too, because they need to have a matching field available. In case if the field is not available and if the conversion happens, it is not possible to get back the lost data. The second one is going to be you have to decide whether the fields that you're going to create and the field types that you're going to choose are as required. In case if you're going to have multiple values in one field, it will be better for you to go with a drop down, like a pick list field. If it is going to be association, it is going to be a lookup field. If it is going to be a long, like a requirement, it is easy for you to go with multi-line lookup. So you need to make sure what is going to be a field and what is going to be the field type. And the third one is going to be global set. In case if you are going to create a drop down field, you need to make sure whether it is only for one module or multiple modules. In case if it is for multiple modules, how you can carry that over to the other module. And finally, the conversion mapping. So I'll go through this one by one. As I mentioned earlier, if you are creating a new field within the leads, how you can make sure it is also created in the other module as well. So for that, we got you covered. You need to go to setup, modules and fields under customization, choose the leads module, students. That whenever you're trying to create a new field, edit properties, that you can also create this for other modules as well. So whenever you're creating this one field in the leads module, you can make sure the same field is created in the other three so that there is proper flow of data and it is not required for you to go into each module one by one and create them again. That's how you can create it. And the next challenge is going to be the field names and the field types. So if you are going with a particular field name, it is better for you to have a blueprint written down somewhere where you can mention, okay, this is going to be the field, this is going to be the field type. So you can choose from any of these available field types in here. And when this is done, if you are going with the drop down field, for example, if you just drag and drop a pick list field in here, let's say I'm going to call it as lead source. So you can either go with a local or a global set. If it is a local set, then it will be available only for the leads module. If you are going with a global set, in future, if you add a new pick list field on other module, you can select it from the any of these available global set as you can see here. So you can create multiple global sets by going into setup, modules and fields, and then under customization, and then global sets. So here you can create multiple global sets. Once the customization is done, you need to now make sure the conversion mapping is done properly, for which again, you will go into the modules, place your cursor over the leads, do not click on it, click on the three dots. There you can see prospect conversion mapping or lead conversion mapping, where you need to make sure the respective fields are mapped properly. The annual revenue in the lead will go into the annual revenue of company, annual revenue of contact if you have created, and you can take it over when the conversion happens. The one thing you need to make sure is the field type should be the same for the mapping to happen. If the annual revenue is a currency field, it can map only with the currency fields of the other modules. It is not possible to map it to a number field. So that is why I mentioned earlier, you need to make sure the data type and the fields are properly named and properly selected. So those are the missing major factors that you need to keep an eye for. And as I mentioned earlier, these are the key field types. And for a pick list field, it is going to be like a drop down. For multi-select field, it is again a drop down, but whereas instead of one value, you can select multiple values. A lookup and multi-select lookup, as I mentioned earlier, it is going to associate two different modules. A lookup is a one-to-one association. A multi-select lookup is going to be one-to-many association. And then comes a new update, which is the roll-up summary. So if you go into your Zoho CRM and choose any module and go into that respective layout, on the left side of the screen, you can see a new option called this roll-up summary. So what is a roll-up summary? Let's say you have added multiple nodes or you have added a multiple attachments and you want to see like what is the overall nodes that is added in here. What are the overall attachments that are added in here? So that is where roll-up summary helps you. You can just add a roll-up summary and there are multiple options for you based on the related data. If you have created calls, you can see what are the total number of calls done, what is the average call duration, upcoming scheduled call date, and based on this, you can filter out records. The same applies for attachments, emails, meetings, tasks, and notes too. So that's about the customization. And next comes the subform. So as I was mentioning earlier, you can associate a contact to a partner. But what if a partner is going to give like multiple contacts? Yes, you can use a multi-select lookup field. But again, you need it to be in an ordered way, like a way where you can see it in a table, a tabular column. So that is where subform will help you. A subform will give you a look into a data in a tabular format. So for that, you will go into the modules and fields under customization. We'll go into the partners module that we have created, open the layout, and from the left side, you can just drag and drop a subform where I'll just put it as contact details. I'll add a field, and it is going to be a lookup field called as contact name. Then you can add either a new field or a fields of lookup module, like the name or the fields that is available in the contacts module. They'll just add their phone number, email address, their phone number. And here I can add a new field. So if I'm going to give them a commission, I can mention how much commission I'm going to provide them for this particular contact. And then I can add an aggregate field where I will tell what is the overall commission. It is going to be the sum of the commission and then done. And once I'm done, I can save and close it. So now whenever I create a new partner, I can provide a partner name, email address, and here I can provide the contact name. As you can see, the email is automatically fetched. And then the commission is going to be $100. In this way, you can just keep on adding multiple rows in here. So this gives you an easy way of looking into the data in a tabular format. So that's how you can make use of subforms in Zoho CRM. So that's about the first challenge, which is the customization of Zoho CRM. Now, once the customization is done, you need to make sure that the users of the organization are able to adapt to the customization and able to adapt to the process and are able to work on it without any problems. So that is going to be our next challenge, for which we are going to make use of layout rules, map dependency, validation rules, and setting field permission. For example, as you can see in here, for the contacts module, whenever I try to create a new prospect for the leads module, I'll just change the layout. So there are multiple fields that are available in here. So if an agent or if a representative of the organization is going to be on call, it is not needed for them to see this entire screen because they have to scroll down and they have to enter data. So it would be easy for you to mention, okay, if this value is provided, then show the other fields. If this value is not provided, then hide those list of fields. So that can be done with the help of this layout rules in here. And in order to set up the layout rule, you can go to setup, modules and fields under customization, open the module in which you are going to create a layout rule. Click on layout rules on the top. We'll create a new one, layout rule for leads. We're going to do this for the student layout, or we'll go with the professional layouts. So I'll just go with a country. If the country is USA, then I'll make sure to show fields. Like for example, I'll make zip code. I'll just put mandatory actions in here. set mandatory fields, which is like zip code should be mandatory, state and city should be mandatory. And if you want to show fields, you can just click on show fields. So then we are going to show email opt out, date of birth, phone number, and email. So now this is done. If I go back and try to create a new lead, sorry, yeah. So now as you can see here, I'm not able to find a phone field. The moment I provide USA as the country, as you can see, I'll be able to see the phone field right now. And the zip code and the city will be set as mandatory. Let me show you by removing it. It is not mandatory now. The red line is not available. Now it is available. So in this way, based on your process, you can define which fields to be shown, which sections to be shown, which fields are to be made mandatory. And if you have subforms, you can also show or hide subforms as well. So that can be done with the help of layout rules. And once the layout rule is done, the next thing is going to be about map dependency. So as I was mentioning earlier, you have multiple prospect source. For example, it is going to be like advertisement, cold call, employee referral. So based on this prospect source, you can control the values that is going to be available on the another pick list field. For example, as you can see here, I also have a field called this prospect status. So if it is going to be advertisement, I can choose which value should be available in here. If it is going to be cold call, I can automatically put that as a junk lead or lost lead. So I can choose those options with help of map dependency. And in order to do that, you will go to setup, models and fields under customization, place your cursor over the leads module or the prospects module, click on the three dots, and there you can find map dependency field. Here you can create a new one. I'll do it for the students module or layout, sorry. So I'll just go with prospect source and the child is going to be prospect status. So if the prospect source is going to be none, I'm going to choose none as the prospect status. If it is going to be advertisement, it is going to be prospecting, contact in future, contacted, and that's it. For cold call, it is going to be lost lead or junk lead. Employee referral, attempted to contact, prospecting, contact in future. So in this way, you can choose all the values. And you can save it. So now if you go into the respective module and go to the layout, here, as you can see, I'll just choose the prospect source as cold call, and automatically the values will be limited to only two, which I have selected. The same way, if I go to advertisement, the value will be limited. So in this way, you can choose what are the values that are to be shown based on the value that is available on the another picklist field. So that can be done with the help of map dependency. And the third one is going to be validation tools. So as I mentioned earlier, you are going to have multiple data that is being pushed into your Zoho CRM on a daily basis. But how to identify what is a valid data in here? For example, if you are getting 1,000 leads, but not all those 1,000 leads are going to be valid. Some are going to be junk lead. And how can Zoho CRM automatically identify that for you? It can be done with the help of validation tool. For example, if you go into setup, modules and fields under customization, and open the respective module, you can see validation rules on the top. So you can create a new validation rule based on the phone number. Or as of now, I'll delete this validation rule so that we can create the same one again. So I'll just create a new validation rule for the student's layout for phone number. It is going to be based on criteria. So let's say if the phone number number of character, if it is going to be less than 10, I'm going to throw an error saying wrong number and then save it. So now whenever I try to create a new lead, and if I give the phone number as this, there's only 8 letters. If I try to save it, automatically it will not allow me to save it. It will just throw an error. In the same way, if you have set up validation rules and if a third party is pushing data into Zoho CRM, if it does not pass the validation rule, it will not allow the respective application to create a record within Zoho CRM. And that is how you can control invalid entries into your Zoho CRM. And finally, coming to the field permissions, you have multiple fields in a module, and you are going to decide which field are to be accessed by which users of the organization. So for that, we will again go into setup, modules and fields under customization, open the respective module. For example, I'll go with contacts and standard layout. That if you click on the three dots in here, I'm sorry, you can see set permission, and there you can define the permission for the different profiles you have set up within your organization, whether they can read or write, read only, if you don't want to show them, or if you want to read and write it. So those can be decided with the help of this permissions among the fields within Zoho CRM. So that is how you can simplify the use and you can enhance the adoption of Zoho CRM for the users of your organization. So now comes the next challenge where we are going to ensure the data is secured properly and it is available for the users based on the roles that they hold within the organization. For example, if there is a sales representative in the organization, you don't want them to see the entire data. You just want to assign, let's say, 100 leads on a daily basis, and they have to work on those 100 leads. They should not be able to see the 100 leads of other salesperson. But whereas the sales manager should be able to see the entire data that is accessible to the team. So in that case, this can be achieved with the help of roles and profiles within Zoho CRM. And in case of roles, we have two different types of role hierarchy. The first one is going to be role hierarchy, and the second one is going to be reporting hierarchy. In order to set that up, you need to go to setup. Let me close this one. And once you are in the setup, you need to go to security control, and under there, you'll be able to see roles and sharing. So the roles mention what kind of position you hold within the organization. And there you can set up the entire role of the organization, for which first you need to set up the hierarchy preference. As I mentioned, you have two types of hierarchy, role hierarchy and reporting hierarchy. When it comes to role hierarchy, it is based on the role that you hold within the organization. For example, if you are a sales manager, you will be able to see the representatives data. If you are the overall CEO, you'll be able to see the entire data. But when it comes to reporting hierarchy, it depends on the users of the organization. For example, let's say there are two different sales managers, John and Nolan. So John will be able to see the data of his peers or his subordinates, but whereas Nolan will be able to see his own subordinates. There will be no mix up of data. Nolan will not be able to see John's data or John's subordinates data, and the same happens as vice versa. So that is the major difference between role hierarchy and reporting hierarchy in here. So in order to set up a hierarchy preference, you have to be an administrator or super admin of the organization. You can go to setup, and under general, you can go to company settings and choose the hierarchy preference in here. And once the hierarchy is set up, next you are going to create different roles for the organization, which is again very easy. You will go to roles and sharing under security control, and you will create roles based on your requirement. So as you can see here, I have a sales manager and a sales representative. If I want to create a marketing manager, I'll just click on the plus icon right next to CEO so that they can directly report to the CEO. So I'll just call them as marketing manager, save it. And now if you see there's a marketing manager available in here, and below the marketing manager, I'll create a marketing rep. So in this way, you can create it. And once the role is set up, next you are going to set up profiles. So as I mentioned earlier, a role is going to tell you what is your position in the organization, but a profile will tell you what kind of access you have over the data of the organization. And by default, we will provide you with two different profiles. The first one is going to be admin profile, and the second one is going to be standard profile. An administrator by default will have complete access over the data and the features of Zoho CRM. They can access any data and they can work on any data at any way. But whereas the standard user will have restricted access, they will be able to see only their own data. But if you want to create your own profile, you can click on new profile in here. I'll call it as marketing manager. You can clone any profile. And then here you can restrict their permissions. If you don't want them to delete data, just remove the delete permissions. And then it will be automatically saved. If you don't want them to see an entire module, you can just disable the entire module as well. In this way, you can make changes to their permissions. And that is how you are going to control what kind of data they can see and how much of access they can have over the data that they are able to see. So that is done with the help of roles and profiles within Zoho CRM. And now the next challenge is going to be how you can integrate your Zoho CRM so that it can add data from your websites or web pages and social media sites as well. In order to do that, Zoho CRM offers you with web forms first for the website, which can be accessed by going to setup. And here on the left side, you'll be able to see channels. There you can go to web forms and create a new web form. I'll call it as new form for the prospects module. And you can just drag and drop the fields from the left side. I'll just go with first name, email address, phone number. You can just drag and drop the fields that you need. And then when you are ready, you can click on next. But again, you may have a doubt, what if this web form contains improper data or invalid data? So that is why we have advanced fields where you can add a reCAPTCHA as well. And you can use Google reCAPTCHA to add your reCAPTCHA. Make sure the data is not submitted automatically by any robot. So now when the form is ready, you will click on next and decide where you are going to put this form. If you have only one website, you can directly put the website. If you have multiple places, then give an asterisk and click on add so that it can accept data from multiple locations. And after submit, if you want to redirect them to a custom URL, if you want to put a splash message or a thank you message, you can do that. And then you can assign to either one user or or on a round robin pattern using assignment rule, which we will be discussing very shortly. If you want to tag those records, if you want to send out notification, you can enable all those and then click on save. And once you have clicked on save, you will be getting the publishing format in multiple options. You can have it as a source code, embed code, iframe code, link, or a QR code as well. And then you can share that. So I'll just take it as a source code and I'll show you how it works. So now let me open a source code runner for you. The HTML online compiler. I'll run it, and this is how your form will look like. And then once you've submitted, it'll give you a thank you message. And now if you go into your Zoho CRM, I'm sorry. And that is the record that we have created right now. So that is how you can integrate your websites into Zoho CRM using this web form. The next one is going to be how you can integrate your Zoho CRM with your social websites like Facebook and Twitter. For that, you will go into setup. And on the left side of the screen under channels, click on social. And there you can integrate with your social accounts like Facebook and Twitter. And once it is integrated, you will be able to see a social website or a social tab where you can find all the conversations you have with your customers. And in case if you want to convert them, you can just message them from here. If you want to convert them, you can go to monitor page or post page or activity log. And from there, you can convert them into a contact. So I think I have already converted them into a contact, and that is why it is not giving me an option. Yes, so as you can see here, it is already added as a contact and a prospect. And if you want to have it as a ticket, yes, you can convert that as well. And that is why it is not giving me an option. And from here, you can create your own post. You can schedule out post here, and then you can monitor your activities too. So this is one place from where you can monitor every actions that happens within your social websites like Facebook and Twitter or X. If you want to add a new column, yes, you can just click on this plus and you can add a new column. If you want to search based on a keyword or people, yes, you can do that as well. You can just put it as keyword as e-commerce, enter, and you'll be able to see every data that is available within your within your social media based on this keyword. So that's how you can connect your website and social media into Zoho CRM here. Now, coming to the next challenge where you need to make sure that the entire organization is aware of your booking schedules. Like, if you want the customer to get in touch with you, it is not required for you to send out multiple emails to find out the customer's availability. What if I say this can be done with only one email in which you're going to tell, hey, if you are trying to get in touch with this, use this link and book an appointment with this. And that booking appointment will show that booking link will show them every available time slots. So that can be done right now directly from CRM using calendar booking, for which you will go into your Zoho CRM, click on setup, and here under general, you can see calendar booking and where you can create two different types of calendar booking. It can be your own personal calendar booking or your team booking. If it is going to be a personal booking, you can just click on create calendar booking. You can choose your name or you can choose for the entire team. So if you are not available, it will be assigned to some other person at that particular time slots. You can give a name for it, product demo. You have integrated with third-party online application to make it as online meeting. You can integrate that and you can choose whether it is Zoom or Zoho meeting. Meeting duration, you can get the details as needed. Which product are you looking for? You put that in the description. And then if you want to assign it to one user or if you multiple users or a group or a territory, you can do that. And then you can click on save. I'll just go with multiple users here, 2 users. So it will be assigned to them on a round robin pattern. Click on save. So now the link is ready. This is the one. So I'll just copy this link and open it in a separate tab. So as you can see here, this is how they can see your organization availability. If they are in a different time zone, they can choose the time zone of their availability, and then they can book a slot with this. Provide the name, email address, product, and then image verification and save. And automatically, meeting will be created for John. Air conditioner for FX75. Appointment is ready. Now, if I go into the meetings module, you can see the meeting automatically being created in here. So that's how you can connect your Zoho CRM with your customers so that they can see your availability in an increasing order of 30 minutes or however you want to make changes to it. And now coming to the challenge of having your email conversations available for the entire organization. because on a daily basis, you are going to get in touch with the customer based on the emails that you're going to send to them. For example, there is a back and forth email conversation, and let's say at a particular day you are unavailable, and the customer calls the organization with regards to an update. It is not possible for the team to log into your account due to security reason, or they can't reach you for every time they need an update on it. So it is better for you to integrate your Zoho CRM with your email service provider and share those email within the organization only to those who are able to see it. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to first integrate your Zoho CRM with this email service provider, which is very simple. Again, you're going to go to setup, and under channels, you can click on email, and there click on email right next to compose. And here you can set up the integration. Let me deactivate this and set it up again. So you can choose the email service provider that you have by clicking on get started. You can choose any one from here. And you can choose either IMAP, POP, or API integration. I'll go with IMAP. I'll go with my email address in here, continue. And once you allow it, the integration will be done automatically. Let's give it a few minutes. So now what happens because of this integration is once the integration is done, you will be able to see every email conversation you had with your customer under the respective module. For example, if I go into prospect and if I open any one prospect in here, I can see all the informations or the emails that I've sent to them under this email tab. If you are going to send email from your Gmail account or Outlook account, which you have connected, those can also be seen here. So it is not needed for you to send email only from CRM. You can send it from your email box as well, but that will be synced automatically into Zoho CRM. And if you want this to be shared with other users of the organization, that can also be done by going into email, and that under the integration, you can share that email either as public or custom record level sharing as well. So if you put it as public, everyone within the organization will be able to see it, and they can also have a look of what is the conversation that is happening between you and your customers. And in case if you're not available, they can take over from there. So that is one of the major advantage of having this integration. And one more thing is within Zoho CRM, you also have an option of enabling sales inbox, which is a way of seeing your email like an email box. So if I go into sales inbox, which will be like a separate module in here that is available because of this integration. Let me update this. Yeah, that should be good. So as you can see here, the sales inbox will be available for you. So this will act like your mailbox, but within Zoho CRM side. And once the integration is done, as you can see, email sync is in progress. You will be able to see every email that you have sent from your email box, not only those that are associated to the Zoho CRM. And also what happens here is because of this integration, the Zoho CRM can identify whether the customer has opened the email, they have clicked on any link within the email, if they have replied to the email. So all that can be identified with the help of this email insight, for which you'll click on email intelligence and just enable this email insight. Once that is done, you will be able to see everything. And using that, you can find out which email has higher open rate and how you can accommodate the content of your email based on your customers' interaction with your business emails. So that can be done with the help of email integration within Zoho CRM. And since you have the power of sending emails from Zoho CRM, why to type an email every time? Because when you are going to send out a welcome email, it is not required for you to type it manually. It can be done automatically with the help of templates, for which you'll go to setup, and under customization, you will go into templates. And here you can create your own template. It can be a normal plain text as well. So welcome email, welcome to the organization. So hi, and if you want to get their data automatically populated, just give a hashtag Choose their name, first name, last name, or both as well. Thank you for choosing. Looking forward to work closely with you. And that's it. So once you save it, now whenever you go into the prospects module, and if you are trying to send out an email to that particular prospect, you can just click on send email button. And from here, instead of typing it again every time, you can just click on insert template, choose the welcome email. And as you can see, the name is automatically populated and you can send the email from here automatically as well. In case if you don't want to send it immediately, you can schedule it as well based on your choice. And if you feel like you are going to continue it later, yes, you can put it in draft, and the draft will be available in the draft section of the emails in here. So that is how you can make use of this email conversation within Zoho CRM. And the next thing is going to be the integration of AI feature within Zoho CRM, where we are going to integrate Zoho CRM with ChatGPT. So using this, we are going to find out how well you can boost the performance of your Zoho CRM actions. For example, by default, we do have an application within CRM called as Zia. Zia is an artificial intelligence that is developed by us. So using Zia, you can perform multiple actions. For example, if you go into setup in here, and under Zia, you'll be able to see multiple options. The first one is going to be data enrichment, prediction, recommendation, communication, and conversational AI, and other options as well. So in case of data enrichment, as you can see in here, you can enable data enrichment based on the organization information. So whenever I'm going to create a prospect, okay, if this is the prospect, if I click on edit, let's say I'm going to give them a company name. So I'm going to put the company name as Google. And once I do that, you can just click on enrich data and it will fetch the data based on the organization that I have given, and it will update the respective data available within the record by clicking on update. So it is not needed for you to every time check for the customer data. You can either do it based on their company details or URL, and all those can be configured in here by going into data enrichment, choose the module, and you can choose based on which field you want to trigger this enrichment. If it is going to be company, email, or website. Or apart from this, you also have smart prompt as well, where you can integrate your Zoho CRM with ChatGPT. So for that, you need to have an API key. So if you're not sure about the API key, you can just click on how to find your API key, log in into your ChatGPT. So this is my key for ChatGPT. I'll just delete this and create a new one for Zoho CRM, create secret key. So once you get this secret key, you will put it in here and then you will integrate with your Zoho CRM. So what happens here because of this integration is whenever you are sending out emails to your customers, the ChatGPT can make changes to your content based on your option. Also, if you are going to create a template, you can just give a command to ChatGPT and ChatGPT will create the email template. And in this way, you can use this for multiple options in here. Even when you are creating a record based on ChatGPT prompt, the record can be edited and also task can be assigned to it. Okay, it is still creating it. In the meantime, let me check if I can show it in our help document in here. Yeah. So as you can see in this, based on this Chat GPT response, like right next to the company, you'll be able to see it like this. If you click on that, it will provide you an insight about that particular organization. if you are going to give any desired prompt, based on that, it will give you more information, which can give you an insight about the organization and how well you can cater your product to that organization needs and make changes to it. So all that can be done with the help of ChatGPT. And also, in case, as I mentioned, with regards to the email, yes, you can use the smart prompts in here. You can just improve the word choice, elaborate the ideas, include interest of the customer. So all those can be added in here. You can make changes to the content, and then you can add it to the email conversation as well. So that is how you can integrate your Zoho CRM with ChatGPT. I'm sorry, I'm not able to show it today because ChatGPT is a bit slow in here. And apart from this, you also have some inbuilt functions as well, where if you go into any record and open it, you can find out the best time to contact and the best time to email, which is identified automatically by Zoho CRM's internal AI called as Zia. So Zia analyzes your previous conversation with the customer, how many emails you have sent, what was the time the customer has replied to it, how many calls you have made, what was the success, when was a successful call made, and based on all these data, it will give you the best time to email the customer or best time to call the customer. And based on that, you can schedule calls and you can send out emails so that it falls directly into their notice without any delay. And also within Zia, if you are performing a particular action in a repeated manner, Zia notification will tell you, hey, instead of doing this, you can create a workflow. As you can see, it gives me an anomaly, like yesterday I have created only 0% fewer prospect than usual. And this is for lead creation. I'm checking if I'm able to see any other action. Yeah. So as you can see, 100% of my enrollments are without any email. So for that, what I can do, it is giving me a suggestion to send out a workflow. So all these will be done by Zia automatically. And in case if you want to ask Zia anything, you can use that as a personal assistant as well. You can just put in like how many leads were created last 7 days. So I think, yeah. So that's how you can make use of Zia within Zoho CRM. And apart from this, we know like most of your business are happening during your travel, and you can now make use of Zoho CRM mobile app. So you can use the mobile app from your app store as well as your Play Store. And using this mobile app, you can perform actions like creating leads, updating records. Even if you are going to have a call with the customer through your mobile phone, those calls can be identified and logged into your Zoho CRM. You can make use of the map location using which you can find out the leads, nearest leads, and also you can convert your voice into text as well. So these are all the major features when it comes to Zoho CRM. So that's about a quick health check about your Zoho CRM. If you have any doubts, I'll be very happy to help you. Thank you for joining the session and have a great day.